Hello, everybody. So we're going to start with lesson 10.3 right now. So we're working on weight and basically how can you compare and convert customary units of weight. We're on page 435 of the fifth grade Go Math textbook. All right, let's look at the unlock the problem. Hector's school is having a model rocket contest. To be in the contest, each rocket must weigh 4 pounds or less. Without any paint, Hector's rocket weighs 62 ounces. If Hector wants to paint his rocket, what is the weight of the most paint he can use? All right, so let's see. Well, 1 pound is equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 ounces. So what weight does Hector need to convert? He needs to convert the 4 pounds to ounces. After he converts the weight, what does he need to do next? Well, so we're going to have a weight that's in ounces, and we need to find out how many ounces of paint he can use on his rocket. So we're going to subtract 62 and how many ounces are in 4 pounds. And that'll tell us how much he can use to paint his rocket. So we can use a bar model to write an equation. And step one, we're going to convert 4 pounds to ounces. And we notice that every pound has 16 ounces. So going from pounds, which are larger than ounces, so 4 times 16 will give us what? Well, 16 times 4, right? So 4 times 6 is 24 ones. Regroup that as 2 tens and 4 ones. And 4 times 1 is 4 plus the 2 regrouped tens, 64 total ounces. So in 4 pounds, there are 64 ounces. So his rocket has to weigh less than 64, has to be 64 or less ounces. Well, right now he's at 62 ounces, so he can only add 2 more ounces in paint. Okay. All right, let's look at 436. So another example, the rocket boosters for United States Space Shuttle weigh 1,292,000 pounds each when the shuttle is launched. How many tons does each rocket booster weigh? All right, so we're changing from pounds to tons. And if we look here, we see that 1 pound is 16 ounces, but 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So tons are larger than pounds. Okay, so decide which operation to use. Since pounds are smaller than tons, I need to divide the number of pounds by 2,000. Well, we can break 2,000 into two factors that are easier to divide mentally. So for instance, I can say 2,000 is 1,000 times 2. So if I take the 1,292,000 and divide by 1,000, we know that we can eliminate the end zeros, right? So basically we have 1,292 divided by 1. Well, that's just going to give 1,292. Now we can take that and divide by 2. It's just going to be a smaller number. So 1,292 divided by 2. We'd have 646 tons when the space shuttle is launched. All right, use the picture to complete each equation. So we see that every pound, again, has 16 ounces. So 1 pound, 16 ounces. 2 pounds would be 32 ounces. 3 pounds, all we have to do is add another 16 to the 32. We'd be at 48. Add 16 to the 48. So 4 pounds would be 64 ounces. And 5 pounds, add 16 more, we'd be at 80 ounces. All right. So basically 5 times 16 for every pound. So pounds are larger than ounces. So we're going to multiply 15 times 16. Okay, 6 times 15 is 90. 10 times 15 is 150. So 240 ounces. 3 tons is how many pounds? Well, every ton is 2,000 pounds. So 3 times 2,000. Well, that's 6,000. 320 ounces is how many pounds? This time we're going smaller to larger, so we're going to have to divide 320 by 16. Okay, well, I can put 2 16s, or take 2 16s from 32. Leaves me with 0 10s. Bring down the 1s. Anyway, you can't take any 16s from 0, so 20. 20 pounds is the same as 320 ounces. Okay, let's look at number 5. 23 pounds is how many ounces? 23 pounds equals how many ounces? All right, so pounds are larger than ounces, so we're going to be multiplying. So take 23 and multiply by 16. 23 times 16 is 100. 23 times 6 is 138. And 23 times 10 is 230. So 368 ounces. Number 6, 6 tons is how many pounds? Tons are larger than pounds, so we're going to be multiplying 6 times 2,000. Well, 6 times 2,000 is 12,000. And number 7, 144 ounces is how many pounds? So we're going from smaller to larger, so we're going to have to divide. So take 144 and divide by 16. There's 16 ounces in every pound. 16 times 10 would be 160, which that's only 16 away from that. So I'm going to put 9, and that is 144. So 9 pounds. 15 tons is how many pounds? Tons are larger than pounds, so we're going from larger to smaller, so we're going to multiply 15 times 2,000. 15 times 2 is 30, so 30,000. On number 9, we're going to convert 352 ounces into pounds. So we're going from the smaller ounces to the larger pounds. So smaller to larger, divide. 352 divided by 16. 2 times 16 is 32. Leaves us 3 tens. We're going to change those 3 tens for 31s. Bring down the other 2 ones, so 32. Well, we already know 16 times 2 is 32. So 22 pounds. And finally, 18 pounds is how many ounces? Pounds are larger than ounces. So larger or smaller, we're going to multiply. 18 times 16. 6 times 18 is 108. And 10 times 18 is 180. So 288 ounces. All right, number 11. So we're going to compare these, but right now this one's in ounces and this is in pounds. We need to have them both be ounces or both of them be pounds. So I'm going to take the 8 pounds. I'm going to change it to ounces. So 16 times 8. 8 times 6 is 48. 8 times 1 is 8, plus the 4 regrouped, 128. So 128 ounces is equivalent to 8 pounds. So 130 ounces is more than 8 pounds. Number 12, 34 pounds is how many ounces? Or compared to 544 ounces. Again, I'm going to change the 34 pounds into ounces. Larger to smaller, so I'm going to multiply. 34 times 16. 6 times 34 is 204. And 34 times 10 is 340. So 544 ounces. So those two are equal. 34 pounds is 544 ounces. 14 pounds compared to 229 ounces. So we're going to convert 14 pounds into ounces, going larger to smaller, so multiply. 6 times 14 is 84. And 14 times 10 is 140. So 224 ounces. So 14 pounds is less than 229 ounces. 16 tons compared to 32,000 pounds. So we know tons are larger than pounds, so we're going to multiply. 16 times 2 is 32,000. 16 times 2,000, 32,000. So those are equivalent. 16 tons is equal to 32,000 pounds. 5 pounds compared to 79 ounces. So we're going from larger to smaller, so multiply. 16 times 5 is 80. So 80 ounces is greater than 79 ounces. So 5 pounds is larger than 79 ounces. And 85,000 pounds compared to 40 ton. We're going to change the tons to pounds, larger to smaller, so we're going to multiply 40 times 2,000. Well, 40 times 2 is 80, and those are thousands, so 80,000. So 40 tons is less than 85,000 pounds. Number 17. Radha has a 5-pound bag of clay. Her craft project requires 5 ounces of clay for 6 ornaments. All right, so 6 per 5 ounces. So we need to change our 5 pounds into ounces. Okay, once we convert the number of pounds into ounces, we can then divide by 5 to find out how many batches of 6 we have. So 5 pounds times 16. 16 pounds, 16 ounces per pound. So 80. So we have 80 ounces. And for every 5 ounces, we can make 6 ornaments. So how many sets of 5 are in 80? So 16. So 16 batches of 6. 16 times 6, 96. So first thing we did was we converted to number of ounces. We divided those ounces by 5 to find out how many batches we have. So in 80 ounces, there are 16 batches of 5 ounces. And so every batch has 6 ornaments, 16 times 6. All right, 18. Ellis used 48 ounces of rye flour in a bread recipe. Write an expression you could use to find out how many pounds of rye flour Ellis used. And explain how the expression represents the problem. Well, if we're going to have 48 ounces, we're converting from 48 ounces to pounds. Well, ounces are smaller than pounds, so we're going to divide. So we're going to divide 48 by 16, and that's going to give us 3. 6 times 2 is 32. 32 plus 16 is 48. So 48 ounces of rye flour, and divide by 16 ounces per pound to get 3 pounds. $19. Kevin uses 36 ounces of dried apples, 18 ounces of dried cranberries to make a fruit snack. He plans to sell them in 1/2 pound containers. How many containers will he fill? Will any fruit snack be left over? All right, well, let's start by finding out how many ounces we have. 36 plus 18. All right, so that's 54 ounces. We need to convert those 54 ounces. No, actually, well, you could change the 54 ounces into pounds, or we could take the 54 ounces and divide by 8, because half a pound equals how many ounces? Well, if 1 pound is 16 ounces, half a pound would be 8 ounces. So we could take 54 and divide by 8. And now tell us how many half pound bags there are. So 8 times 6 is 48 with a remainder of 6. So 6 containers. And there's going to be 6 ounces left over. Okay. So 54 ounces divided by 8 ounces equals 6 half pound bags or containers with 6 ounces left over. Number 20. So Kia wants to have 4 pounds of munchies for her party. She has 36 ounces of popcorn and wants the rest to be pretzel sticks. How many pretzel sticks does she need to buy? Okay, so we can use a bar model for this. So we have to have this combined has to be 4 pounds. Well, 4 pounds is the same as 64 ounces, 4 times 16. So if I take the total, which is 64, and subtract how much we already have, which is 36, that'll tell us how many more ounces will be pretzels. So 64 minus 36. 14 take away 6 is 8, and 5 tenths take away 3 tenths is 2. So 28 ounces will be pretzels. Write a new problem using different amounts of snacks. All right. So it doesn't really matter what they are, but something like this. Carlos wants 3 pounds of trail mix. Okay, and now he has to have a certain amount that's less than the 3 pounds. So I'm going to say he has prepared 24 ounces so far. How many more ounces does he need to prepare? More ounces. All right. So again, we can use the same bar model idea. And we know that he's already prepared 24 ounces. And we know that combined, that has to equal 3 pounds. Well, 3 pounds is the same as 3 times 16, so 48 ounces. So 48 minus 24 will give us the missing box, right? So 48 minus 24, 24. So he had done half. He had prepared half. So 24 ounces left to prepare. All right, and finally 21. Select true or false for each statement. Well, we want to know if 1,500 pounds is greater than 1 ton. Well, we know 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So that can't be true. 32 ounces is less than 4 pounds. Well, if there's 16 ounces in every pound, 32 ounces is just 2 pounds. 2 times 16 is 32. So that's true. 2 pounds is less than 4 pounds, or 32 ounces is less than 4 pounds. 24 ounces is less than 1 pound 16 ounces. Again, there's 16 ounces in a pound. So if we subtract that, we'd be left with 8 ounces. So we'd have 1 pound, 8 ounces. So 24 ounces is less than 1 pound, 16 ounces. It's kind of interesting that they wrote this as 1 pound, 16 ounces. That's basically 2 pounds, right? Okay, well, 2 pounds is 32 ounces. So that's the other way of thinking this. 24 is less than 32. All right, so that's it for weight and converting between pounds, ounces, and tons. In our next lesson, we'll be working with multi-step measurement problems. So until then, I'll see you soon.